violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's get into the video. So I wanted to do this story. It comes out of Macon. It's a pretty interesting situation, but a fight over pork chop sandwich or another woman leads to a Macon stabbing. So a Bibb County officer sheriff's deputy answered a call about a person cut at a house on West Napier Avenue in Macon in the wee hours of recent Tuesday morning. The deputy spoke to the person, a 52-year-old Crawford County man who had suffered minor injuries. The man said he was lying on a couch in a bedroom when a woman he had been living with off and on for about 2 years woke him, and they began to argue about him having another woman, the deputy's write-up of the October 12th altercation noted. So, it looks like this guy is bumming, and he's, living with women, couch to couch, just doing his thing, smashing this girl, smashing that girl, laying up, staying here, staying there, whatnot. And he gets confronted about dealing with another woman. The man said the woman he was arguing with grabbed a knife and stabbed him in the head and left arm. The woman, 59, told, and these are grown people. This is a 52-year-old man and a 59-year-old woman. Got no business putting hands on each other at this age, but this is the mindset in South Georgia, I guess. The woman, 59, told a different story. She said she was asleep when the man began to argue about a pork chop sandwich and that he became physical with her, the report said. A woman went on to say that her granddaughter had brought her a knife from the kitchen and that the woman grabbed it and stabbed the man. The report added that the woman suffered no injuries and that the couple had been involved in a pair of recent domestic run-ins. The woman was charged with aggravated assault. So it looks like she was lying about the pork chop sandwich, and she just wanted to confront him about the other girl. And maybe it could have been both, but it appears that he never got physical with her because she suffered no injuries, and she ended up stabbing him in the head and the hand. So, hey, a lot of these women is crazy. And if you're a dude and you're laying up with a girl and thinking, oh, I'm going to just live at her crib and not do nothing, then you got another thing coming.
We're going to begin tonight in Clayton County at the scene of a deadly officer-involved shooting. That story is breaking right now. 11 Alive Joe Ripley joins us live on the scene with more details. Joe.
Hey, good evening to you, Ron. We do know this. A man is dead after Clayton County police shot him with officers thinking he was pointing a weapon at them. The GBI is currently investigating this shooting. Take a look behind me and you can see we're here on Maddox Road in Morrow where police responded around noon today. The scene's still pretty active.
So it looks like there is an officer-involved shooting in none other than Clayton County. We've done several stories on Clayton County. The brother apparently was yelling at officers and holding a weapon, and he got shot. Hopefully, we can get more details on this and it doesn't erupt into a Rashad Brooks situation, which I'm sure it won't because it's not an election year.
Active as investigators try to collect evidence and further details in this case. Clayton County Police Chief Kevin Roberts spoke with us earlier tonight, telling us officers responded to a fight between neighbors here on this road. While meeting with one man, Roberts says the man who died was yelling at officers, but at the time he wasn't armed or considered a threat. Police said the man then went back inside his home, got a gun, and fired a round. Roberts says officers believe the shot was aimed at them.
So this idiot is upset, domestic dispute. He comes outside, shoots a gun at the officers, and they lit his behind up.
But it's unclear if that's exactly true. Officers in turn fired at the man. Neighbors told us it took as long as 20 minutes before the man was taken outside of his home. Police say he died at the hospital. The shooting comes 5 days after Clayton County police officer Henry Laxon was shot and killed responding to a domestic situation.
they are at their highest level of being on guard every day beyond this week's earlier shooting. Just the climate in and of itself, as the violent crimes seem to be escalating upon every engagement. So every officer in the country should be performing their duties at a heightened level.
Wow. So these officers are on edge, and they're going across the country having to deal with, criminals and just regular everyday citizens who are becoming more violent toward officers because maybe the effects that occurred after the George Floyd situation and how police officers across the nation are being demonized. So the citizens and criminals and like thereof are now becoming more abrasive when encountering law enforcement.
No officers were injured in this specific situation. We did speak with the wife of the man who did not want to go on camera. She identified her husband as 38-year-old Miguel Gonzalez. She says he has had a history of mental breakdowns in the past, although she's on.
So it's a habanero, you know what I mean? A habanero, brother, right? And he just lost it, like a lot of people are losing it.
Clear whether that factored into what happened earlier. When she heard the news that her husband had passed away, she instantly broke down in tears, sobbing, though she did have a host of neighbors surround her and embrace her, telling her that it would be okay. Ron?
Yeah, tough time in Clayton County. Of course, we're going to have more details coming up in our later broadcast. Joe, thank you.
And more breaking news into the newsroom right now. Reports that 3 people have been shot just outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is at the intersection of Peter Street and Walker Street Southwest. Preliminary reports are showing the 3 people have all been taken to the hospital in stable condition. We have a crew headed to the scene right now, and we'll bring you those updates online and on.
There we have new details this evening on a shooting in southwest Atlanta last night. It's one of 3 stories we're following for you. This was in the 300 block of Peter Street, about a mile away from Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Wow. So on the day of the SEC championship, 3 people are shot a mile away from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Shocking.
APD says as someone began shooting outside the Crew Hookah Lounge when a security guard for that business responded. 3 people, including the security guard, were shot, all taken to the hospital, all in stable condition.
Wow, so the security guard, he got on his job and tried to prevent people from being hurt.
An off-duty police officer working nearby heard the gunfire and responded. The suspect was quickly arrested and was allegedly armed with 2 handguns.
Wow, so this man pulled up with 2 straps and set it off in this hookah lounge. I told you these dudes are on demon time.
Developing story now, 3 people were hurt in a shooting on Peter Street. That is not far from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 11 Alive's Karis Belger is there now. Karis, what do we know so far?
Now, good morning, Christy. Actually, right now I'm on the street where this took place. It was completely blocked off yesterday. You couldn't even get through to drive on this street. It's a completely different scene now. We do know from police that the 3 people who were hurt were taken to the hospital. They are now in stable condition. Police say that they got a call at around 10 p.m. responding last night. As to what occurred, what caused the shooting to happen, police are still looking into that. That cause currently is still unclear.
It was probably over nothing, over something stupid. Dude stepped on a dude's shoes, or, he took the last piece of charcoal in the hookah lounge, or, maybe he, didn't pass him the utensils that you got to use to pick up the charcoal, or maybe it was over a girl, or in Atlanta, anything is possible.
I have been reaching out to the Atlanta police, and we are trying to get some more details. Hopefully I'll have more updates for you later on in the morning, Christy.
All right, Karis, thank you. If that was at 10 p.m., that would have been a couple of hours after the SEC championship game. Thanks very much.
Which, they're saying that as if there aren't people who linger, a couple hours after the game. You guys are missing death by hours, couple hours, and sometimes a couple minutes, and sometimes, we don't get so lucky, especially in these cities where it's lit and, it's nighttime, but the sun is still out.
More updates for you later on in the morning, Christy.
All right, Karis, thank you. If that was at 10 p.m., that would have been a couple of hours after the SEC championship game. Thanks very much.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.